Welcome back to This Is My Bourbon Podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Perry. With me, as he always is, it's the whiskey mutant himself.
It's okay to have fun.
Apparently, it's not.
It is.
We say this like somebody
whiskey fun.
Like somebody criticized us over the
we
week.
actually made a whole story up in our head. We did this to ourselves.
I think I need to go back to therapy.
We are therapists.
Have you ever gone to therapy?
No.
I highly recommend it.
I listen to it. I'm a therapist.
No, you're not.
I
Stop.
listen to enough people.
You know the worst comment I ever had, I ever got when I said I think everybody should go to therapy.
What?
Nature is my therapy.
Oh God. I have my kids go to therapy.
Shut up.
I don't have nothing against it. I just never went.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm therapying other people a lot.
That's bad. that's a reason. Yeah, that's a reason why you should be going to therapy.
I'll go to physical therapy. Is that okay?
That doesn't. I mean, that fixes a problem, but not the problem I'm specifically talking about.
What
How
problem?
are you doing?
Do I have a problem?
No, I think everybody should go to therapy.
Now I'm questioning my own sanity.
I'm just no. What did
I do to make you think I should go to therapy?
I'm not diagnosing you. This is a general statement. This is an early tips and bits. I think everybody should go to therapy.
Okay.
Like, it's just there is always room for everybody to have improvement in their life.
I 100% agree with that. I think...
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... No, I'm the bad guy. This happens every week.
That's my favorite thing to do, to just turn it back. No, I agree. I think therapy is highly, what am I trying to say?
Useful, helpful.
Successful.
Yeah.
I've just never went.
Yeah.
So, but
do it.
If you want to get your own therapy, you can go to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. You can support the show. But at $5, you get all the bonus stuff. And you get access to the Discord, which there's therapists in there. Unprofessional ones.
Unlicensed or otherwise.
Unlicensed, unprofessional.
Hey, also, let's talk about the Patreon for a second.
Uh-oh.
I made a post on Patreon this past week.
You had to go to therapy for it. Thanks.
I'm getting a call from United States right now. That's cool. Go to voicemail.
It's Biden. He's telling
Listen up,
farewell.
Jack.
He's saying farewell.
We're going to beat Medicare together. No. I made a post on the Patreon this past week. It was addressed to free subscribers.
That's no money.
That's no money. No money, no honey. Okay? That's for the people who are not paying on the Patreon.
But they're just supporting.
They're just supporting.
Saying, hey,
they're saying, hey, we like what you're doing. We want to show that we're supporting you, but we don't have the money right now to do so.
And that's fine.
Patreon has introduced a new feature where we can sell individual posts for people who are not on the Patreon, but they want to take a little peek behind the paywall and see what it is that we are doing for the people who are behind the paywall.
So if you get like a little, like somebody says a little comment, or you hear something like, oh my God, did you hear the shit they said on Patreon? You could just get that one post and be like, you know what? I think I might join and listen to the rest of this crazy stuff that they say.
Because we say a lot of crazy stuff.
A lot of crazy stuff.
Sometimes we have a full character arc in one bonus episode.
And we
like
kill them
we did
off.
this week, and then they die at the end of it, which was really fun. This feature doesn't change the way that paid subscribers access weekly posts. I'm going to say it again. This new priced post feature does not affect you if you are a monthly paid subscriber to the This Is My Bourbon Podcast Patreon. You still get the weekly posts. You still get all the features that you normally do. It's for somebody who is not at a tier or not supporting us financially on Patreon.
Let me put this in tater terms.
Okay.
If you're part of a whiskey club
Yes.
and they send you monthly whiskey,
Yes.
nothing changes.
Yes.
But if you are a fan of the club, but you never receive any whiskey,
Right.
and you're like, hey, I'd like to try that whiskey like one time.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right. Exactly.
If you're already in the club getting whiskey monthly, nothing changes.
Nothing changes. So, if you have any other questions, ask me directly at my bourbon pod. This is my bourbon shop at gmail.com.
Or mail yourself to P.O. Box
22609 Lexington, Kentucky 40522. That's also where you can send us samples, bottles, mail, whatever, if you are interested in doing so, that we can drink, review, talk about on the show. That P.O. Box is open for you to
That's what it's for.
use. Don't abuse it, though. But it is there. And we appreciate everybody who does that. I feel like I had something else I was going to bring up at the top of the show. This was not top of mind, but it is something that I want to bring up. I need to get better about bringing this up as well. We still have bottles available of our Barrel Rye Armagnac finished pick, which is amazing. It is one of our favorite picks, or one of my favorite picks that we have ever done. It was in collaboration with David Levine from the Whiskey Ring podcast. Absolutely phenomenal. The link is in the description below. Go and check that out. Yeah, $100 a bottle, I believe. I need to get another. I'm almost out of my second one.
Ooh,
like it's that good. Every time that I've brought it to a meetup or a tasting or whatever, it winds up being so popular that I basically leave with like a quarter of a bottle.
We still have TIMBP glasses.
We do. Do we still?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Couple.
Do I have a hair?
Still got TIMBP hair.
Great.
Here.
That's
hair with every glass.
Mine. No, because then you'll clone us.
Although I know some of you weirdos out there. They'll do something.
Do a podcast in my home.
Little Perry doll.
So that's why my liver hurts.
Every time I've met Perry, I've stolen some of his hair, and they got like a little doll. He's almost complete.
That's why you won't let me go in the back. Yeah. It's just vials and vials of.
I sell your hair secretly.
That's the tier for a Patreon that I'm not a part of.
The new mixing board, huh? Don't worry about it. Sold some hair.
Anything.
Take the spit off of the glasses and
merch and apparel. Bourbonshop.threadless.com. There's Christmas stuff up there too. If you want to pull out some bourbon Christmas apparel around this time.
If you want to pull out in Christmas, go for it.
Or don't. But be consenting.
Make a
consent.
Christmas baby.
Don't. I mean, talk about it first. September's a good year for babies, though. I would know. I have a September baby.
So do I.
Yeah, follow on all social media at my bourbon pod. At Whiskey Mutant.
At Whiskey Mutant.
And yeah, I think that's about it.
That's it.
We normally kick off
Blind me.
Okay. Well, I was gonna get there, but
with love. And whiskey.
We are off the rails. Let's get to it. We normally kick off episodes with Flying Blind. It's where we prep our palates for an episode, and we like to, I don't know, just pour something up for
the other
guy.
Keep whiskey fun.
So I've got a couple pours that I'm going to blind Eric on.
Couple?
Yeah, a couple.
How many glasses do we need?
2. Got my pants wet.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I don't know. Or the last.
Closing my eyes.
Well, playing with the meme, I did Perry pour a little bit, but
Whoa.
You can look now. All right. 2 glasses enter. I don't know if one will leave. You might like them both equally. I'm not really sure.
2 glasses, 1 guy. What?
One of my favorite memes recently has been showing my dog or showing my kid or showing blank something they've never seen before.
2 girls, 1 cup.
And then it's the back of a computer and whatever the person or thing is in front of it, and the caption is 2 girls, 1 cup.
Oh.
Brought me endless joy. Well, folks, he doesn't like it. Goodbye.
You know me too well.
Yep.
It's just kind of there.
Yeah.
It smells like a very plain old bottled and bond,
Interesting.
if that makes sense. Could be 100 proof. It's very just plain.
Yeah.
I do get a little cinnamon in there. I would guess that this is a very obviously like a batch product. It's not like it doesn't taste so thick and like notey like a single barrel.
It done like.
Yeah, I think it's just like a 100 proof, just whiskey.
Okay. Moving on.
Maybe 4 to 6 years old.
Interesting.
See, that smells a little deeper. Smells a little darker.
Yeah.
Kind of some brown sugar. It smells like a brown sugar Pop-Tart.
Yeah. Yep. I think there's a clear winner between the two.
Oh,
of
yeah,
these.
man. That's good. I don't think number 2 is that high proof either. There's just a lot more going on. Oh, it's got a big cinnamon finish. Cinnamon brown sugar. It's almost like these are 2 Heaven Hill bottled and bonds, and one is good and one is just
That is interesting. I see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
But you're wrong.
Well, I mean, I'm just telling you what I thought.
Yeah, no, that's fair. The first one is a Knob Creek pick. It's called Faux Fall.
Number 1 is a Knob Creek pick?
Yeah, number 1's a Knob Creek pick.
That's the thinnest
I know.
Knob Creek pick I have ever tried.
I know. It's crazy.
Where's this from?
Liquor Barn.
What y'all doing?
And number 2 is
Another
a Knob
Knob-
Creek pick.
Of course it is.
It's who does number 2 work for?
Who does number 2 work for?
Also from Liquor Barn.
How do they pick this and that?
They were picked on the same day. I have a strong suspicion that Faux Fall was picked later in the process.
So, I mean...
And their palates just were a little shot.
I guess at the end of the day...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess at the end of the day, my guess was totally wrong. Some horrible proof guess, not even the right distillery. So
or age.
Everything was off. At the end of the day, I failed this test. If you've ever done a blind tasting and you kind of give yourself a score, I failed. I didn't get anything right. What I did get right was I could tell these were the same things.
Right.
And one was significantly better than the other.
Yeah. Who does number 2 work for has been one of my favorite Knob Creek picks I've had in a while.
See, that's a good.
Yeah.
Like,
Faux Fall, I just got yesterday. I just opened up. Maybe it needs some time to open up too. I don't know. But it's just kind of there.
It's
weird.
Man, high proof hot take.
Pre-high proof hot take
High proof
segment.
Hot take. And we've talked about this already. This is your whiskey ranting of the episode where Whiskey Mutant goes on a rant that it just kind of, I believe the current state of our favorite go-to single barrels is way off. Russells, we've had more Russells and Knob Creek picks and even Elijah Craig barrel proof picks lately that just are not good. And maybe it was just the excitement of like getting a Russell's or a Knob Creek pick, but I don't think so because I don't feel like I ever was disappointed pre-COVID almost. And I'm not saying during COVID they have some good ones.
Did we find the the outlier here?
That was it.
COVID caused it because everybody's lost their sense of taste and smell.
Maybe it did. I don't know. I feel like
Wouldn't that be something?
I feel like now we're in a time where the majority of my favorite picks are like rare character picks, like that Chad's let us try or given us, or
Yeah, it's crazy.
or something else. I don't
yeah.
feel like I can just walk into a store and see a Knob Creek or a Russell's pick and be like, I know that's going to be good because I've been let down more than I have ever by these picks.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get into it.
That's my rant of the day.
Yeah,
I mean,
get
what
it.
do you all think that's
I get it.
listening, watching? Like, I mean, seriously,
Let us know.
I mean, how many times do I have to say, let us know, and it never happens?
Please.
But what do you think? What's the current state of, like, I'm not talking about, like,
I actually love this meme now that nobody's
yeah,
responding.
and they're probably
to
going
us.
to do that because they want the meme to go.
Yeah.
But
That's
but
my
no,
favorite. That's actually my new favorite recurring meme is that
I'm-
we ask people to
dude,
let us know.
Let us know,
and then they just
never
don't.
know.
I think it's turning really, really funny at this
I'm
point.
not talking about like our friends who have created brands. You know, you got the junkies doing their single barrels and making their brand and stuff like that.
Or Daily Bourbon.
My Daily Bourbon with Rare Character. We got Dark Art stuff. Like, those are the hitters right now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to mention, where's that sample we had earlier? There is
Bluegrass Distillers, yeah.
Bluegrass Distillers sent us a sample of this 15-year, 113 proof. It's the Elkwood Reserve.
Mhm.
There is barrels of this 15-year-old bourbon going around that is just...
Everybody knows what it is. It's the Buffalo Trace Distilled
Buffalo
Wild Turkey.
Trace Wild Turkey. Delicious. You can't deny that this isn't good. I'm just talking about our old go-tos. The stuff that you knew that you could just stock up on and you would just love. And I've been let down by Knob Creek and Russell's lately.
Yeah, I'm even thinking about, and this is something that I don't even know if I can truly speak on because I don't know when the last time I had one was, but like a Buffalo Trace store pick.
I mean, all mine are from years ago.
I know. I don't know when the last time I bought one was. And I think that's just because they're not being put out in stores the way that they used to be. The selection process is so different. Sazerac has completely revamped the drawing
And when you saw a Buffalo Trace pick, you were like, give me 3 because they were always going to be the same price.
And they were going to be great.
And they were going to be... Buffalo Trace by itself was just great, but they were always so good. Same with Russell's. Russell's single barrel, the normal one, always good, but you knew that the Russell's picks were going to be good. The ages have gone down, the prices have gone up, and the taste just isn't the same. It isn't. It just is. It isn't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's my rant.
You did it.
My job here is done.
No, wait, come back. We still have like an hour to record.
I finally got the one rant that I needed to end all the podcasts.
And it was like really cohesive too. You really...
I don't know, man. And that's a good comparison right now. Yes, both of these are new, but one was significantly different. And it's just like, you just never got that. Usually it was just like this is a good pick. This is a really good pick. There was never too many like, these are poo-poos.
Mm-hmm.
So
these are poo-poos.
I'm going to blend these.
I'm going to do the
and
same.
Save them. This is going to be my after show pour.
Maybe I'll do the same.
Since they're 120 proof and you've got definitely more pours coming later.
Yeah. What have you been drinking recently?
I might have drunk too much the other day. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to be honest with the listeners.
Here's the thing.
I'm human, man.
I don't care what side you're on. Everybody's a little on edge right now with how things are going in not just the country, but in the world. Things are a little testy, okay? And I think that we're all giving ourselves a little bit more room to indulge. Am I wrong?
Well, I wasn't drinking because of the state of the world.
Sure. But I think that some of us are.
There are times and there are things that happen that, whether it's good or bad, that you just say, you know what, today's the day.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going full throttle. I mentioned last week, if you listened,
Your comfort movie?
my comfort movie. Yeah, I'll mention another one. I had another one.
Oh, okay.
No, I was going go to your sports teams live.
Oh, yeah.
It was my anniversary. Me and April's anniversary.
Uh-oh.
What? I'm not going to go into those details.
Well, no. I just... did you drink too much on your anniversary?
We both did.
Yay!
Nobody got sick. This is not like a sick and like puke thing. No. I'm just saying the next day...
You felt real bad.
Didn't feel the greatest. I never got sick, never puked, nothing. It was just, I drank more than I had in a while, and I felt it. Moved slow. I was very like foggy. So we went to Indianapolis to watch the Bills play the Colts, which
Go Bills.
Go Bills. We won. By the time this comes out, we will have played the Chiefs, and who knows what I may have broke or maybe celebrated. Who knows? I don't know.
You could break things in celebration, too. We're in Lexington, Kentucky.
We usually
where
burn
things
couches.
Get broken.
We usually burn couches.
In celebration.
We did beat Duke the other day.
Burning is a form of breaking.
I wanted to burn whatever I could because it was
under the
amazing.
breaking umbrella.
So, either way. So, we get there. It's a 1 o'clock game. And I started drinking about 11. So we drove that morning. We checked in. They were nice enough to let us do an early check-in, drop the bags off, got my jersey on, got my uniform on, as Perry likes to give me a hard time saying it because I'm part of the team.
He was going to war.
I was going to war. I'm part of this team. Took 1792 foolproof in a coffee cup. A plastic coffee cup and drank it on the way to the stadium, and it was about 2 ounces, and I hadn't ate anything either, so I felt really good by the time I got to security when they were like, you can't bring that in there, and I had to chug about a whole ounce of foolproof. So we're feeling good. We're feeling good.
You were ready to play, man.
I was ready to play.
You were ready to hand out water cups.
Now listen.
You were ready to hydrate your boys.
Yes, I was.
Give them a little slap on the tushy, a little kiss on the cheek, and a little
Josh Allen all day long. But we get into the stadium.
Yoo-hoo!
Hey. And I'm like, well, gotta have another drink.
You're there.
I'm there. Listen, Lucas Oil Stadium is amazing. It is a covered stadium. So no, you don't have to worry about weather. It looks nice.
Yeah.
But they got one issue. The drink stands have no bourbon. Not even Jack Daniels. My choices were Crown and Jimmy Walker?
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker. That was my choices.
What did you...
I did a Crown and Diet. A double. And I had that, and then at halftime, you know what else I did? I went and got a Johnny Walker Black neat. And they're not allowed to give it to me neat. They had to put it on ice. And I took a big double shot of Johnny Walker Black at halftime.
That's scotch.
I know.
You must have hated yourself.
Well, I think the
in
1790.
Lucas Oil Stadium.
No, I was too happy. I was too happy to be just having fun. I think the 1792 did its job by getting me warmed up. So, and all that and I've only had some cheese curds at this point. So we win the game, go back, and luckily the hotel bar is awesome. Me and April go and we get old fashions. Oh, some good old fashions too.
Did it matter whether they were good by that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it did.
I'm just asking.
So I had some, I think they used Makers. It was good. So we go later on, go to dinner at Harry and Izzy's, I believe. And they had, I guess if you're listening, you probably know what we're reviewing today, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
They had a Koi Hill on their menu.
Nice.
It's not the same one because I saw the proof, but I had a big old pour of Koi Hill. It was actually a little higher than that.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I think it was an older one. Remember when those ones were like almost hazmat or whatever?
Yeah. There were some that were hazmat, I think.
Yeah, they were. I don't know. I didn't need to spend that much money on whiskey at that point. I should have just got... I shouldn't even have got any, honestly. I'm being serious. It's been all day. I've drank in the morning. I've drank during the game. I've got post-game things. I had samples in the room. I had I had the 17-year Buckners before Old Fashions because it was our 17th.
Oh, your 17th anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a sample of that, a 1-ounce sample. That was it. We shared that. That was our anniversary pour. Then we had Old Fashions.
What did April think of the 17 year?
She liked it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
She had one sip. She said, I can tell that's high proof and that's all I need.
Yeah.
So luckily at that point, I just had the Johnny Walker Black on ice at that point. But so the Old Fashions. And
but it was also a double.
That's true. The Old Fashions were good. And I probably should have just been like, you know what? I don't need anything. I'm just going to have some water and Coke Zero. No, I had to get Koi Hill at that point. Tasted delicious, but I couldn't tell you anything about it right now. Then my bread pudding, they did a pour over of it. They took Woodford Reserve, a bottle with the little thing on it, and they poured it over like this. And then they were like...
Fantastic.
They were like, well, let's give you a little extra. So then I'm spooning out Woodford Reserve over my bread pudding.
Wait. When you say spooning out, were you like getting it out so that you could like drink it?
It was sitting on top of the ice cream and stuff.
That's not answering my question.
I just took a spoon of it.
And like from the spoon,
basically,
you were eating it like ice cream or soup or medicine.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Eric Smith, you're my hero.
Yeah. So, needless to say, the next day, I wasn't feeling the greatest. I didn't get sick. I was not feeling tummy sick. I had that thing where...
Your head sick.
I was head sick.
Yeah.
And I had to drive back to Lexington.
That's the worst.
And I had to do the balls of the dog trick.
Hair of the dog?
Hair of the dog. Where
balls of the dog!
I can never remember that one. Where finally, after we got settled back home, I had to have some more. I had like one good pour, and it actually like evened me out. It was rough, man. It was rough. And you're doing that thing where you're like, man, because you're not.
All right, from here on out, anytime we refer to hair of the dog on the podcast, it shall be known as balls of the dog.
You're doing that thing where you're like, the fact that you're not like nauseous, sick, you're like, I'm not on a hangover. But in your head, you're like, I just don't feel good. And you just don't tell yourself that you're on a hangover.
You get that way the older you get.
Yeah.
Too.
It's like, if I'm not puking, I'm not on a hangover.
Right. And like, I get that way at about noon. Like, I'm fine. Oh no.
Yeah, that was. I got up and I was like, I'm not too bad.
Because what it is, your body hasn't like it hasn't digested the alcohol. You haven't gotten significantly dehydrated
Right.
at that point, right? And so you're still like drunk, pretty much. And then finally, once you reach that point of like you're dehydrated and you're not drunk anymore, you're like, I think I need to be a little drunk again.
Well, it's a thing, yeah. And I'm not condoning over drinking.
That's why Bloody Marys are so popular. Mimosas.
It was a celebration, an anniversary, and we both knew we were eating bad, we were drinking bad. It just is what it is. We're adults. We can do that. We're allowed to. I'm not saying do that every day. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But I have not felt that way since probably TIMBP weekend.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's been since May. So
yeah.
So yeah, that was my trip recapped. I can't wait to have Coy Hill feeling like wilding out. I did have a Nashville Barrel Co. rye last night that I did a little.
Yeah. I saw that
back there. I think I want to do more on Whiskey Mutant page. I want to do more picture posts.
I want to do the same. I
get caught up on trying to make the videos and 69ing and all that, and sometimes it's just fun to just post what you had a pour of.
Well, that's why I started doing this past week on Threads, which I'll be doing every Tuesday on Threads moving forward. What's Perry drinking?
You got to get a better name than that.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't good.
Every Tuesday is what's Perry drinking? Usually people are like Taylor Tuesday, or
but it's
Tuesday.
But it was like recapping things that I'd been drinking over like the past week.
Totally Tuesday. No, that's not good.
But it's got to be something that's like specific to me. You know what I mean? So I went through just like 5 things that I had over the past week.
That's cool.
And you know it's one, Twitter's dying.
It's X.
So I'm just kind of on Threads now. And I'm just enjoying it.
I'm on pins and needles.
That was good.
Like that.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm enjoying just kind of posting things that I've been drinking on. And, Jared.
Who's that?
Called me out on Threads. He was like, if only you had a segment on a podcast about things that you've been drinking. And I was like, we only have so much time on this, to get to it. Which brings me to something that we need to grab out of the fridge that we've been drinking.
Right now?
Or that I've been drinking too. Yeah, because I wanted to talk about it.
Which one? Both?
The one that's open.
What's the other one?
That I'm taking that later to Chad.
No, you're not.
Please?
I already drank it.
Wow. But so I opened this on Sunday with Papa Ritter because it was the start of his birthday weekend. Or birthday
Papa
week,
Ritter.
excuse me.
Papa with us still having a weekend.
He turned 60 this week.
Crazy.
And I'd been holding on to this Colonel Taylor bourbon barrel aged Bigfoot from Sierra Nevada for a while.
Barley wine style ale. I love that it has the label like
the actual like Taylor label. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if you're gonna like this.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
It smells a little soy saucy.
It's funky. But it's not a stout. Barley wine is different from stout. It's okay if you don't like it.
I don't like it.
Fair enough.
It tastes like soy sauce.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh my gosh, it tastes a lot like soy sauce. Is that what it tasted like to begin with?
Kind of, yeah.
So you said it's flat. So what would I normally...
Well, I just mean like it's not as carbonated as it was when I opened it.
Oh, okay. So like there's no like... Oh my God, that's soy sauce. I'm not mad at it, honestly. No.
But it's still got some fizz. I mean, if you look at it.
Soy sauce.
Yeah, but it's not as like... It's also not as bourbon barrel influenced as it was.
Yeah, I don't really get a lot of that bourbon stout
Yeah.
on there.
Now, I also poured something for Papa Ritter that we're just going to, you know what? I said, screw it. We're going to talk about it on the podcast because everybody and their mother has talked about this bottle on their page, on their
What's
YouTube,
happening? I don't even know what's happening right
on
now.
their podcast. And by God, we're going to talk about it too.
Do you want the rest of this back?
We don't have to finish it. Okay, look.
We already did this.
No, we did it on Patreon.
Oh.
Russell's 10 LLME. Okay? Look. It's here, right? The rumor initially was that this bottle had it had Russell's 15 barrels that were left over that went into it. Dave Jennings confirmed actually that it doesn't, but it does have older barrels in it.
Okay.
There's also a rumor going around.
Another one?
Not a rumor, excuse me. The understanding is that this is the profile now of how Russell's 10 is going to be.
Oh.
Which I am not mad about. So here's my early high proof hot take. I'm sick and tired of if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
I'm so tired of it. This was like the epitome of it. It was like, you gotta understand, man. You gotta figure it out.
I love when people just don't explain what they're trying to say too. Like when they're allowed to.
And I got told like, no, you got to keep it here. Like, don't talk about it on the podcast or anything. I was like, and at first I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't want to like, you know, I don't want to fumble the bag for anybody. Now it doesn't matter. Now it's like everybody's going to get this quality. It's going to taste like this for everybody. And here's the thing too. This batch, LLME, is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's not just in Lexington. It's not just in South Carolina. It's not just in, I don't know, middle of nowhere, Washington. It's everywhere. Buy a bottle. If you see Russell's 10, buy it anyway. It's one of the best bourbons under $50. That's age stated. It's just one of the best bottles of bourbon under $50, period.
That's true.
If you know, you know. Give me a break.
The more you know.
The more you know is right.
What Pop think about it?
He thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I think it's really good too. I've really enjoyed doing this. Or drinking this, excuse me. What I did do with it the other day too was I poured and I measured it out, half of this and half of the 8-year 101. And I just did a blend of the two together.
Yeah.
It was really good. It tasted more of like the, kind of like the 12-year export.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Kind of, you know, I mean, same kind of like flavor profile. Not exactly, of course, because, you know, lower age statement.
Yeah.
But it was a really good little, you know, experiment. I'd been wanting to try it anyway, but yeah. Cut out the if you know, you know stuff, man.
Don't be gatekeepers.
I heard don't be gay at first. And I was like, that is not an official stance of this podcast.
Gatekeepers.
Yeah. I know.
Cheers.
Cheers indeed. Folks, we are finally wrapping up reviews of products that we have been sent while I was on paternity leave. And we got 2 this week. And then next week, I don't know if we'll do a review next week. We've been review heavy recently. We might do a best way to drink. We might do I don't know.
Let's compare old single barrels to new single barrels.
That feels depressing. I mean, we could.
I don't know.
How does 16-year Knob Creek hold up to 9-year Knob Creek?
No, not that far off in age.
We'll figure it out. But in the meantime, we've got 2 samples here in front of us. We're going to start out with the lower proof one, which is from Buzzard's Roost. It is a 5-year-old bourbon that is not focusing on camera, but I'm going to keep... Oh, I guess it is.
And there it went.
And it focused on my face. It's just very bright in the... Okay. This is going great. It's a 5-year-old bourbon with a mash bill of 75, 21, and 4 at 105 proof. It's $65 a bottle. And it is available widely, I believe. It's called Kindred Collaboration. It is a small batch. I just barely caught it out of the corner of my eye.
Not finished or anything like that?
Not finished or anything. Okay. Just a small batch. And I'm very excited about this one.
Yeah, I appreciate. They always send us some good samples.
They do. Anytime that we get the email saying that there's a new product from Buzzard's Roost coming out, I try to jump on it pretty quickly. One, Buzzard's Roost has always been very kind to us, inviting us to, press events or whatever, sending us samples of product, and we try to be kind to them in return. But as I always say, even though this was sent to us free of charge, we do remain honest with our opinions and our critiques. Not that it matters, really, largely.
Can you tell your mentor to stop stealing my gimmick? Did you see that review he did the other day?
No.
That was tasting notes that I would say.
No.
He's been listening to this podcast.
I doubt it.
He's stealing my notes. I'll show you later.
All right.
Stealing my gimmick. I'm the only one that can do weird notes like that. And
he is the king of bizarre notes.
I mean, no, this was a hate review.
Oh, the one for oh my gosh, you're right. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's a Whiskey Mutant review.
The high chew or whatever it was that he said was left in a
Yeah, that's a Whiskey Mutant review.
That was a pretty good.
I was like, damn.
That was better than our review that we gave of it, and we were not particularly fond of that product.
Right, so he's getting wild.
Bernheim. Anyway.
Now, this is Buzzard Roost, though. That's another story now.
It is very lemony.
That smells like... I will say it is got a zest note on there.
Oh, it's a zesty boy.
It's a zesty boy. But it's not like straight zesty. I would say this is like... It's like the zest of like an old fashioned. It's like an old fashioned with like a squeeze of lemon.
It's kind of giving Gold Rush vibes.
See that?
Yeah, because it's a little honey forward, but there's also quite a bit of like cinnamon, ginger.
It's
on there as well.
It smells like a old fashioned to me. There's some bitters.
Yeah.
Orange bitters with some.
It's cocktail in a bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Ooh, I'm not mad at that.
Oh.
There's only one thing, and I'll save this for when I do my scoring. There's just one thing that I'm really missing that I think that would level up this. I'm not mad at it. It doesn't change the taste of it. There's just one thing I'm missing, and I'll see later if you feel the same way.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I think it starts a little low. I think it really kicks up on the back end of the palate and it gets strong at the end of the palate and really carries through into the finish. There is something about this proof point at 105 that really works well for this. I don't think that it needs to be any more or any less. Do you think the proof is what's killing it?
I'm not necessarily saying the proof. I think I want this thicker. I feel like it's just
I think that's fair.
I think if this was thicker somehow and more coating, I would get more flavor on the finish. I would get more mid, and I think this would be, and I don't know if, I don't know enough science about it. And if the proof is higher, yeah, I know adding water thins stuff out. I don't know if necessarily how much water they added or anything. To me, I just feel like I want this. I'm like, oh my God, if this was a little thicker and a little more coating on my tongue, this would be freaking like out of this world. I love the nose. I think right up front, it's very like savory. It's got some sort of like smoky, almost like if you smoked an old fashioned. It's got that note on it. I just wish when I was finishing it up, it was a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can point out
That's
that
fair.
I really dislike about this.
Yeah. I don't. I don't know if it really goes anywhere further on the finish either.
It's kind of just there.
Yeah. Which I'm not mad about because I do enjoy it about as much as I do the palate.
Mm-hmm.
There's a buttercream note that I'm kind of picking up on the palate that I'm really enjoying. On top of the like brighter lemony notes.
I'm still,
well.
I think it's a very from nose to palate transition pour. It's a very, it tastes very similar to a smoked old fashioned.
Yeah.
To me. So if it's old fashioned on the nose with a little bit of zest, you smoked it and that's what you get on the palate.
Yeah. I'm
not mad at it.
I'm really enjoying this. I'm kind of looking forward to, and it's been a while since I picked up a bottle of a Buzzard Roost product.
Is this their own stuff?
I don't know.
I feel like at one point they had other stuff, or maybe they were making their own. I don't know. I'm just curious. Five-year-old. Is that this?
Yeah. Oh, it's double oaked.
Oh.
No, it is not their own, but it was finished in one of their proprietary barrels.
Interesting. Okay. I mean,
and available exclusively in Kentucky. There we go. Sorry, go ahead.
Price point. I'm honestly, that's a pretty fair price product.
Yeah.
I just personally wish it was a little thicker.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with that. But it's not leaving me upset with what it is.
I'm not mad.
Yeah.
It's not off-putting or anything. I just think sometimes I get in those moods where I'm like, man, I feel like this has the potential to be even better, and that's the first thing I go to. What would make this even better?
I mean, we felt that way about you felt more about that, felt that way more about wow.
Get it out.
You felt that way about the Fiddler weeded bourbon from ASW that we had last week, more so than I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. I get it. I think just at face value, I don't know, man. I'm having a great time with it.
Oh yeah. I mean, this would definitely be something that I wouldn't mind picking up a full bottle of.
Yeah. Kind of looking forward to picking up a bottle of it as well, honestly. Nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5. Final scores out of 20. It's our review system here on the podcast. Eric, what are you giving the nose on the Buzzard Roost Kindred collaboration?
I think it's a great nose.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it really is an old fashioned on the nose and the palate, and I love old fashions. I'm going to do palate and nose. To me are pretty similar. I'm just going to go straight up a 3.5 and a 3.5.
I'm going to go. Oof. I think I'm also going to go with 3.5 on the nose. Even though the palate starts out a little bit soft up front, that big rush of flavor towards the end, I'm really enjoying. And I think I'm tired of getting phone calls, but back to the bourbon. The way that the palate transitions into the finish too. And it's not that, again, the way that the finish stays kind of the same flavor profile as and it's funny, like as I'm talking about this and I look at the Choco Pie that's sitting over there, I'm thinking about this like marshmallow flavor too that I'm getting. Like there's a decadence to this on the finish, on the back end of the palate that I really, really like. I think that it does just improve a little bit on the nose. I'm in the same way that you're giving the nose and the palate the same same point, same points, same whatever. Score. Thank you. Brain fried. I'm giving the palate and the finish the same score. So nose for me is a 3.5. Palate and finish are both a 4.
Damn.
I really think this is a great bourbon. This might be my favorite bourbon that Buzzard's Roost has put out. Honestly,
we've liked them all.
Yeah, we have, but I think this is just the one that has really kind of hit home.
This is
for me.
This is definitely the keep on the shelf. Go. I could see this neat. I could see this in a cocktail. I could see this on ice. Anything. The finish for me. I'm not getting the same experience on the finish because I'm still looking for that thick, long finish. But I don't hate it. I just see the potential in this, and unfortunately, when I get that, I see the potential in this. It's stuck in my head. It just stays there. I think the finish is a 3 to me. But going to the price, I think this is a 4.5 on the price.
Yeah, it's a great price.
Honestly, like it's refreshing to see a plus 100 proof whiskey that tastes really good.
Age stated.
Maybe it could be a little thicker. That's just my personal preference, but still be under $75, even under $100.
Yeah.
I mean, everything nowadays just seems like 75 and above. To see a $65 bottle of whiskey that tastes good and that I would not feel bad about using in multiple ways.
Yeah.
That's a 4 point. What did I say? 4.5?
4.5. Yeah. I'm the same way. I am also a 4.5. I think that
I'm at a 14.5.
I'm at a 16 even.
Yeah.
I think.
You did a
I am at a 16 even.
And then an 8. Yeah.
I'm at a 16 even.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm honestly ridiculously impressed with this bourbon. And I'm hoping that I'm also going to be ridiculously impressed with the next whiskey that we have.
We'll see.
Which is arguably also a bourbon, but your purists will tell you it is not, even though it does come from a distillery that produces it in the same way that would make it.
Do we think we have enough new listeners to where I could tell us a quick story that isn't like a story that everybody's like, I've heard that one before.
Go for it.
The time that I was in a liquor bar line for
I love this story so much.
And they had a new batch of Stag Junior.
Yes.
And like everybody was going for Stag Junior. And I was like, I want to get a Stag Junior.
Yeah.
And I was probably about 3 people off. And the guy in front of me, who obviously would have been 2 people off, he's pissed. I wanted Stag Junior. He's like, there ain't nothing going to compare. I was like, I looked over and I was like, not even on the allocation line. I looked over when Liquor Barn over on this side, when their Jack Daniels was on the other side, you can see it. And I was like, oh, damn. I was like, they got some Jack Daniels barrel proof. And I looked at that guy and I go, you should try Jack Daniels barrel proof. Like, it's a really good alternative. And like, not a lot of people are picking it up, know about it. I only drink bourbon. I was like, what? I was like, I mean, and at that point I was just invested. I was like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's basically the same thing. He's like, I ain't drinking no Tennessee whiskey. I only drink bourbon. And he stormed out of the store. Didn't get anything. And I went and picked up some Jack Daniels barrel proof that day instead of some Stag Junior. And it was really good.
Well,
looking at me and going, I only drink bourbon, cracked me up.
Phenomenal. Jack Daniels Coy Hill from Barrel House 8. It's the highest point at the Jack Daniels distillery. It's a bunch of single barrels ranging from 122 to 137.5. Eric, what is the proof on the one that we got?
134.7.
Yes, sir, it is. It's their traditional mash bill of 80% corn, 12% malted barley, and 80% rye. These were put into oak in September of 2013. And they were matured on the 5th and 6th floors of Coy Hill Barrel House 8. $79.99 a bottle.
How much a bottle?
$80.
Even what a Jack Daniel barrel proof right now? 70? 65?
60, 70, yeah, 65. I think I normally see it for like 65.
Yeah.
So
honestly, a pretty good
if you see this at retail,
damn,
go for it. If you see this for $100, I think you should go for it.
I would. We'll see, but I mean.
Well, yeah, I mean, historically, this is a product that
if you like Jack Daniels barrel proof, this is just the special Jack Daniels barrel proofs.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna pat myself on the back a little bit here
because you didn't open.
Because I didn't open it.
I was.
You knew.
I was getting ready to say, dude, I'm so impressed with you because this was a fresh crack of a sample that you've had for a little while.
Well, a couple reasons. One, we had waited a while to get this sample.
It was a long process.
It was a little bit of a back and forth. There were some issues of communication within Jack Daniels to get it to us. No big deal. I mean, it happens. So I was like, well, we waited this long. I may as well wait a little bit longer before we get to it.
If you learn one thing from this episode today, what you just heard is a big, big deal.
Yeah, I have.
He's notorious. For some reason, you're listening for the first time. He's notorious for pulling out like a review that a bottle we got or something, and there's a little bit gone. He's like, I might have had a little bit.
Yeah, but when it comes to like the important pours, I am really good with self-control.
I know.
Like
but this, I was
ask me about. Never mind. I'm not going to go there.
What? No, you started it now.
Ask me about my marriage sometime. And the other reason, too, is that it was only 100 mil. So we didn't have a lot of it to begin with.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to open it and have, a half ounce or an ounce and then come in here. And you're like, where's the Jack Daniels?
Where to go? You're like, actually, I'm just going to tell you about this.
Yeah, you're gonna review it off of my tasting notes.
All right,
that sounds good, man.
No, I'm very impressed. I was actually.
Thanks. The barrier of what's impressive to you is really, really sad.
It's so strong. My pair was so strong with this one. Man, not taking away from what we just reviewed, but that smells thick. And it's just
they're two different animals.
I know, but I'm just
entirely.
saying, like, now we're smelling and tasting something that is thick. It is a thick
boy.
thick boy or girl or whatever.
Envy.
Whatever. It's not as banana-y as I expected.
No, honestly, not really at all.
It's coconutty.
Yeah, I was getting a potpourri note.
It smells like coconut. Coconut and peanut butter.
A lot of barrel influence, which I'm not surprised by. But I will say
It's a Zagnut bar.
the proof is not as intense as I was anticipating it being.
Oh no, this is on the nose. It's very deceiving.
Yeah.
It's inviting.
Yeah. Okay.
My God,
And there's the proof.
the proof is on that finish. Holy shit.
I didn't realize until right now I have a little bit of a cut on my lip.
Now it's disinfected for life.
I think my entire body is disinfected.
That's good.
Dude, you're right. The entire thing is a Zagnut bar.
It's coconut and peanut butter. Straight down to the finish. And that it balances out more on the finish. Like, it's a little bit coconut heavy on the nose, but man, like, it's a total package of that, like a candy bar, coconut peanut butter bar, all the way down. And man, it lets you know that it's barrel proof.
It is just sitting right in my chest. The Tennessee hug, I guess, is so effective.
Man. And
That's incredible.
The bad thing is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. The crazy thing is, it's like,
It's very drinkable.
yeah. I would go back for that.
Yeah.
After a few pours.
Oh,
Man.
boy.
Do we even get Coy Hills around here? I don't feel like I
Yes.
ever see them.
Yes. So here's the thing about, I should have been a little bit more, a little bit clearer about why I got this faux fall Knob Creek pick earlier. I had seen that yesterday the newest Kroger Wine and Spirits opened up.
Oh, yeah, over on Richmond Road.
Okay.
Mhm.
And they had an incredible audio listeners love you to death, and actually video watchers too. There's no way you could see this. There's a not insignificantly sized spider crawling on one of the TVs.
He'll be all right.
I mean, where'd it go?
Oh, he's there.
It went, and then it just flew away somewhere. But it just totally looked like it like pieced, and then it just
he's like, I've been
zoomed
caught.
out. Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with spiders. It doesn't bother me. It just was very funny that it.
We both were like, nope.
popped
He's behind the screen. I just saw him pop his head.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's watching.
That's funny. We'll set a little pour out for him for later so he can enjoy himself. Maybe not the Coy Hill because he might die. But
I'll leave something.
Did you know? Okay. So this is off topic. I apologize, but it's also on topic. They discovered recently that hornets are the most alcohol resistant species.
Hornets?
Hornets
How do they figure that out?
on the planet.
There he is.
Hey, buddy, we have a new pet.
Oh, no. People are like, here we go.
You got a turtle.
It's true.
How's he doing?
He's awesome.
Good.
Donnie's doing good.
They found that hornets can resist for like, I don't remember the exact period of time, but up to like 80% alcohol and be essentially sober for like an extended period of time.
So what happens if you eat a hornet before you start drinking?
I don't know. We're going to have to find out.
Interesting. Hornet man. Horny man.
He's really horny, but that's not the point.
We're talking about being able to drink more than the average person, but looks like he's actually very horny.
Anyways,
look out! Here comes
here's the Hornet Man. He's also horny. Anyway, so this Kroger Wine and Spirits opened.
Yep.
And Chris from Kroger, who does like all their picks and everything. Kroger Chris.
Seen him at Bourbon and Beyond. And
he's awesome. He posted on his story the tables of all of the special releases that they had for this store. Now, I have a little bit of a gripe here with you, Chris. If Wine and Spirits opened near me recently, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything special.
Wow.
Nothing. We don't even get picks over there.
Yours is connected to the store, right?
Yeah.
This is the separate building.
Yeah, but there
across the street.
are Kroger Wine and Spirits that are connected to.
Well, I know they're right here. The one that I have.
Yeah, but they have picks too.
Yeah, they do. They have a Old Forester.
So what's your point?
Well, I'm just saying.
What are you saying?
I was just talking about the release, like we're going to do a big opening and stuff like that. I wasn't thinking about like just normal basis picks, all of that.
Okay. Still.
They have Old Forester barrel proof up there right now.
Cool.
I was just letting you know.
But they don't have Coy Hill like they did at the one that opened yesterday.
There's no Coy Hill when I went there.
Yeah. Anyway, they had Coy Hill yesterday. It was $100 a bottle.
How many do they have?
I don't remember. They had
not too much because it's gone.
Yeah. I made it over there too late. I went over there on my way to pick up the Bluegrass Distillers sample. By the time I got there was a guy who came out with a stag box, and I don't know what he got, but he comes out and was talking to the people in line. He was like, yeah, the best thing that you're going to get is either the Old Grandad 16, the 100 proof, or just regular Buffalo Trace. I was like, I am not waiting in line for regular Buffalo Trace. It was a big fat no. So anyway.
Did he even have some stag in his stag box?
I don't think so.
Of course he did.
Yeah, of course not. So where that Kroger is, there's a liquor barn that's very close to it too, you know.
There's actually
but I'm
another
mostly
liquor
saying
store
that for
behind that. There's 3 liquor stores within the walking
yeah, but
distance.
I doubt that liquor store that's behind it is.
I'm just saying.
You know.
Just saying.
Yeah. Well, I just passed up on it altogether. So I went to the liquor barn right next to it, and that's where I got the faux fall. I also got.
Speaking of foolproof, talked about that earlier.
1792 foolproof liquor barn pick.
Nice.
Which we can. You know what we haven't done in forever? Since I've been gone?
The post pour.
Pour me, pour you.
Pour me, pour you.
Dadgummit.
We'll leave it up.
All right. We'll get to it. Well, I'll put it over here.
We need to get back to the review.
We need to get back to the review.
Jack Daniels is.
We've been very ADD. This
the Jack Daniels intern that has to listen to this to see if we actually talk about it is like, oh my God, they're talking about.
Hopefully you're entertained. Hopefully you look. If nothing, we're entertained.
Aren't you entertained?
Gladiator 2. That's this is the worst.
Sponsored. We are sponsored
Association.
By Gladiator 2. Yeah, that's. I mean
it's spectacular.
Delicious.
I haven't even had a second sip of it.
I'll
yet.
have one. It's even better because I had one while you're talking. Oh my God! It just coats.
Now,
I love something.
I want to say something too.
Say it.
This is not a 20 out of 20.
No,
for me. I think this is really, really good. Having just had a little bit more of the Russell's 15 last night too, which was almost a 20 out of 20 for us.
Did you get more?
No. I had just a little sip of
the sample.
The sample.
I was like, damn, if you got more.
No.
Bring it on.
No, the rest of the sample actually you can have too.
No, this is not, but this is a.
I mean, it is a very high scoring whiskey.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah. Shoot, man. Nose, palate, finish, and price.
I just wish I could get it, man.
I do too. I want a full bottle of this.
Not the bad thing. The good thing is, this is the same profile as a lot of Jack Daniel's barrel proofs.
It's just older and higher proof.
So I hate being that person who's like, this is your alternative to this. But
it is what it is.
If you're like, I've never had Coy Hill, I can't get it around here. And if you've not had Jack Daniel's barrel proof, the gold label one, get one of those and try it out, because they're pretty close.
I would say get the single barrel rye barrel proof too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't ever see those either. Every once in a while.
I mean, they do show up.
But the gold labels are more readily available.
Yeah, for sure. But regardless.
And a tip, if you're at Total Wine, if you have a Total Wine and you don't see it on the shelf, go to the 375s.
Yes.
Because most of the time they have Jack Daniel's barrel proof.
Such a good deal.
Yeah, 375s.
Yeah. I mean, there are times where I've gotten like 2 or 3 of them at a time. I mean, it's a little bit of a markup just because,
But still, it's good.
Yeah. Anyway. What you giving the nose here?
I love the nose. A 4.
I agree with you.
I think
what it's missing is just like, it's just a little, there's just a little something that's not quite clicking.
You know it's good, and you're like, it could be a little better.
Yeah.
And that's where the palate comes in, because I give the palate a 4.5.
Mm-hmm. Finish is a 5, though.
Finish is definitely a 5. You get the total package. It's another roller coaster review for me. It's a build up.
Yeah.
Keeps going up. 4, 4.5, 5.
Yeah. I'm in the same exact boat.
What you didn't get on the nose and maybe you got on the palate, it all comes together on the finish. It's a Zagnut bar. I don't know. Some people are like, what the fuck's a Zagnut bar? Well, it's a coconut covered peanut butter bar, and it's delicious. And that's what this is. Price?
This is one of those bottles where I'm going to say that the MSRP is $80, but you're more than likely going to see it marked up. Whether it's $100, whether it's $125, $150. I mean, even stretching it to something like $200, I would say, bare minimum is probably going to be closer to something like $100. I'm not upset about it.
I would pay $100 right now for one of these.
Yeah.
If they told me. Dude, it's a 5.
I think so. Honestly,
I can't think of anything wrong with that price point.
No.
I think when people start marking it up above MSRP, 200, 250.
Which again, like 100 is still above MSRP.
Right.
But it's not so far above MSRP that I'm like,
if you get,
come on,
if
dude,
you get 80 to 100 is what I'm going to base this on, because that's probably what the
you're
normal pricing is.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't be mad at that. I mean, the normal single barrel is 65 to 70.
Yeah. I am also going to give it a 5.
Let's go.
Yeah.
18.5?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Which is not that far off, again, from the Russell's 15, but...
Sometimes though, when there's a 20 out of 20.
Now, why do I keep bringing up the Russell's 15?
That's true. Why do you?
Because I don't think anything has really stuck out in my brain this year in the way that the Russell's 15 has.
This is close.
I'm not saying that the Russell's 15 is my best of this year.
Best of so far.
But it's the best of so far. And it is very, very close.
Do you
think... we are so close too. I mean, we only have a handful of episodes left before the end of the year.
Is anything going to show up that might dethrone it?
I'm not holding my breath.
Are you sure? Please. At least one of them? No! Same as last year, right? Did we get anything last year?
Yeah.
We got the one.
We got the one. I just...
You know why? Because they spent too much money on those fucking boxes they sent.
They look great. I mean, and I'm not even upset that... honestly, I'm not upset if we don't get anything.
I am. I'll be that
Okay,
guy.
fine. Be upset. I'm not going to because it looked cool. I thought that the presentation was nice for everybody else that got some.
I just want one.
We had
Come on.
we had so many good years of getting the antique collection.
So why not one more? Just one more.
It is what it is. It's not Harlan's fault, dude.
If he says it, it will happen. He's listening right now.
He's listening to our Coy Hill review.
He listens to everything. Everything we do, he
That's
listens
so funny. We're his favorite bourbon podcast.
Yeah.
Then we would get everything from Buffalo Trace. Yeah.
Well, he doesn't want to like stand out. It's his sneaky link.
Oh, okay.
We're his little guilty.
Sneaky leak is such a fun reference.
We're his guilty little pleasure.
What was the really cooked website that had I'm not going to say explicitly what this is, but it would always share videos of the one particular group that they would share of Americans getting their heads.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What was the name of that?
I mean,
You know what I'm talking about, though. Yes, that's what it was. Yeah. I'm going to cut it out for the main episode because
don't go there.
don't go there. I don't even know if it's still.
No,
I doubt that it's
don't
still.
look it up. Don't. It's not good.
That's what it was, though.
Yeah. It was bad. There was
Now it's just
nothing
called
but-
Reddit.
Nothing but death on there.
Yeah,
dude.
really.
Car
Yeah,
accident. It was
yeah
bad.
it was.
It was really bad.
Real bad. Now, genuinely, it is just Reddit. We got some bell rings.
If you want to call and be a part of the show, or you want to send us a text message and have us read it out, you can dial on your phone 859
428
8253 859-428-8253. That is our voicemail, text message, DM line, whatever you want to do. We'll play it. We'll read it. It's all the stuff.
We got 2 voicemails this week. First one is from a first-time caller.
Welcome.
Oh, barrel rings. I thought this was for onion rings. My bad. No, seriously, this is Cousin Todd. Just wanted to
Todd Ritter.
call, leave a message, and say hello to you fellas, and hopefully we can get together, and I'll bring some fun stuff to sample. Cheers.
See, it's as simple as that. You
Now-
can literally just call and say, you know what? I'm just going to say hi and give a nice message.
I'm thinking what we should do is we should have Todd on for like a holiday episode.
He's Cousin Eddie.
He's cousin. Bro, if he comes in a dickie and whatever the hats are
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he wears,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be great.
Let's do it.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Todd,
Come on,
good
Todd.
to hear from you, buddy. We're not actually cousins, but
You are.
well, we are for sure. We're all cousins.
You never heard what Perry just said. You
No,
are.
never. Anyway, this one's from our other favorite caller, J-Rod.
J-Rod.
Hey, what's up, guys? Jared here.
Hello.
I have an advice question for Eric. I think
Okay.
he's uniquely suited to tackle this one. A little TMI, but pretty soon I am going to get snipped.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want
know.
his opinion, either from personal or medical, whatever he wants to give here, on which route I take. Do I go the local anesthesia and just be wide-ass awake while they're down there with needles and syringes and poking around?
Okay.
But I can just drive myself home real quick, bing, bang, boom.
Mhm.
Or do I go the propofol route, get knocked out,
Yep.
but then have the extra recovery time from anesthesia, have the logistics of getting a ride home and all of that? Just not sure which one to do. So, yeah. Well, what do you got, what do you got there, Eric?
Well, you got knocked out because
I got
you
knocked
were friends with the people at the hospital, for one.
And at the time, our insurance, the place I work, if you got stuff done at the hospital, you just had a very low copay and it was all paid for.
Right.
But I also had some issues with my Crohn's and kidneys at the time. So they wanted to check that out a little deeper. So they kind of did a double deal. Now, knowing also the other stuff that I know with other procedures and things like that, I think, Jared, from what I've been told, I have people at the hospital who have done both. It's not a bad process if you want to do the in and out local. It's just some pressure.
Folks, he's also talking to me.
Yes. If you just want like kind of a little bit of pressure, a little uncomfortableness, but it's going to be done very quickly. I would say that because I'm pretty sure anybody's bill, despite your insurance and all that, whatever insurance you have, is going to be more when you get a sedation like that.
Right.
Because you also have to take into account the post-op care. Like you said, Jared, in and out, no post-op, you go, it's going to be numb, you're getting it done. Maybe you have some extra cash and you don't like needles, you don't like the experience, and it's a mental thing. You may be better off just getting knocked out with propofol. Like propofol is a very short-acting anesthetic, so it's out of your system quick. So it is just going to be a short post-op. Make sure you wake up, make sure you got a driver, all that. And it's going to feel good when it goes in, because I've had several surgeries, and one of my favorite feelings is when it all just starts kicking in. And they're like, Eric, count backwards. And I'm like, oh, hey, 100. Yeah. It's a great feeling. It's that feeling. So I would say it depends on, one, your wallet, what you're wanting to pay. It's probably going to be more of a bill if you take the anesthesia. And two, just mentally, are you okay with some pressure, a little bit of discomfort, the whole feeling of the whole thing? Or do you just need to be relaxed and taken care of? So take that into account. I got the whole shebang. I was knocked out, woke up to one of the oldest nurses in the hospital who actually helped train me in the beginning, holding ice on my balls.
It's one of my favorite stories.
So that's a whole thing in itself.
What'd she say? Like, you did great, honey.
You did great. You're doing good. And I was like,
what is it's such a weird statement when
I was like
you didn't do
and
anything.
Well, I made it through. You always say that. I mean, that's kind of a nurse thing. Yeah. It's like, hey, you did great. You made it through your procedure. Like, your body just laid there.
Yeah.
But it's encouragement. And, the next thing I know, there she is.
Amazing.
So I would say it depends on mental versus money.
Okay. Well, I don't really have a preference either way. I'm probably going to have to, given the circumstance of having two young children, I'm probably going to have to do local anesthetic. And
I mean, they do that for a reason. It's cost saving and it's easier on your schedule.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same post-op care. I mean, they're going to do the same stitches or however they do it. The urologist does it. It's going to be the same thing post-op. So that doesn't matter. It's just in the moment. And then when the bill comes in, what's better or worse for you?
Yeah. Fair enough.
There you go.
High proof hot takes. We've kind of done high proof hot takes already. I don't either. Tips and bits though. Well, first of all, what do you think about this foolproof?
That's good foolproof.
I think it's better than both of the.
It's better than both the Knob Creek.
Knob Creek picks we had.
Hell yeah. Dude, that's another one. But I've not got enough foolproof picks are a lot harder to get, so I don't think I can just go to a random store and be like, oh, they got a Russell's or they got a Knob Creek.
Yeah, well, the liquor barn over by the the Kroger Wine and Spirits has some still.
Okay, fair enough.
So
this is good.
Yeah. What do you have to recommend this week? It's our segment of the show, by the way, where we recommend things that we have been watching, listening to, reading, just enjoying that may or may not be whiskey related. Typically, they are not. So What's on your tips and bits list this week?
I'm gonna do 2 updates.
Okay.
Because I'm still on this. I'm kind of saying the same things lately. Anime update. Bleach continues to be good. I'll wait till Perry's prepared to talk about Dragon Ball.
I'm ready to talk about it. You're the one that I'm scared to talk about it with you.
That's
more
what
than
I'm saying.
anything.
You'll wait. Whenever you start talking about it, I will chime in. But Bleach is still great. Dan to Dan, the latest episode made me cry. Jesus Christ.
Really?
Yes. It was, there's a moment toward the end of it that it's my new favorite anime, Dan to Dan.
I've got to start watching it. It's on my list. I put it in my to watch on
and
Crunchyroll.
it's even like it's on Netflix too. So if you people listening that maybe catch anime here and there, you don't have a Crunchyroll account, it's on Netflix. I have been so refreshed with One Piece. We talked about it, but we weren't even recording, I think, when we talked about it.
No, we were not. I asked you about the
fan letter.
Yeah, the anniversary
Yes.
episode of One Piece.
I will mention that because I rewatched it again before some newer episodes come up. So One Piece, obviously in the style of Dragon Ball Z, very lengthy episode, like episode counts, a lot of filler, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it hits me just like Dragon Ball Z does. It's classic. It gets me excited. I cry. It's just like I've grew up with One Piece, and it's still going.
But I think that it means more to you though than like Dragon Ball does.
I think so. I think you see stuff, even my pictures and stuff. I think Dragon Ball, One Piece is getting there now, but before Dragon Ball Z is very pop culture. And it's been for a long time.
Dragon Ball is more accessible.
It's more accessible. But recently...
It also doesn't have 1,000 episodes.
Yeah,
a literal 1,000 episodes.
One Piece is very intimidating if you're like, I'm going to start One Piece, and you're like, you're 2,000 episodes behind. But yeah. But with the Netflix adaptation, the live action, and it's on more stuff. I see more One Piece stuff now than I ever have before.
Yeah, it's a good time to be a One Piece fan. I've been a more casual One Piece fan for most of my life, but it's always held a very excuse me, dear. That's not where my heart is. Here's where my heart is.
This is where your anime heart is.
This is where my anime heart is. It's always held a very special place in my heart that it's just so of itself, and I know that it's got its roots of inspiration in shows like Dragon Ball.
It's kind of like a mentor thing too, because
it is, yeah.
The creator of Dragon Ball Z was actually like a big brother type mentor to the creator of One Piece.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But so they've had this big long arc, and they're taking a break in between, like starting the new season, and they did this thing called,
which is okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Give anime creators a break, they're the studio or whatever. But it's called a fan letter, and I was like, what is this? Like, sometimes they do random stuff, and it's basically just a whole movie that just retells what you've already watched. And you're like, okay, they're doing this thing again. But this was very special to me, because this went back to, there's a midpoint in One Piece where things change.
The time
skip.
Yeah.
Like if you watch the show, there's a thing that happened that breaks your heart, and then time goes by, and we see the crew come back together. And this retelling and stuff it takes place at that point. It's called a fan letter because you get to see an episode that's through the eyes of like people watching the Straw Hats. It's not like through the eyes of a person they're fighting. It's somebody that's like inspired by the Straw Hats. People that even on the other side, the Marines that they fight, they're like, oh, they're kind of inspired by them. And you see this event happen that actually, what's it like if you see somebody else seeing it? And it just was so good. And I can't even hardly recommend it unless you've actually watched it. It's just more of me just sending the praises to Oda and everybody at One Piece. And now we're getting ready to see like a retelling of the whole story. They're doing a retelling of that section, like new art style.
Yeah, which I'm, my relationship to One Piece primarily relied on the manga too, because I was a Shonen Jump subscriber when I was a teenager, an early teenager. So I have such a strong affinity for the actual like Oda art style too. So like seeing the revamped, the remake, and who knows how long Netflix is gonna keep the hopefully it's going to last for a long time. How long they're going to keep the revival, the remake of the anime alive. But seeing it in the more true to the original art style is so exciting.
Yeah.
For me.
It's so good.
And it's not that I don't love the anime of course, but like I'm a weird, like, not even manga purist. It's just like that's what I've got more of a relationship with.
Yeah,
I guess.
So yeah, One Piece, awesome. I was literally wearing a One Piece shirt.
Last episode
that Perry got me for Christmas.
That was your birthday.
Sorry. I don't even know what time it is.
It's somehow Christmas again.
I mean, yeah, I got crazy. Christmas on my mind.
Yeah.
And then also rewatched Joe Dirt. So it's so good. I don't care what anybody says. It's hilarious. So go watch Joe Dirt.
Well,
One Piece. That's the Whiskey Mutant old comedies that are probably need to be canceled.
Definitely Joe Dirt would be canceled today.
You're my sister.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite podcasts is ending. Unfortunately, Chuckle Sandwich.
Oh.
I'm very, very upset about that. It's coming to a close, but they've still got a few episodes in the tank that should be phenomenal. They've got something like 150 episodes backlogged, which I still highly recommend going and listening to. They're YouTubers, but I just love them. It's also I've talked about the one Minecraft server before. It's one of the guys who created that. But anyway, that's ending. But as sad as I am about it, I'm excited for what every year they have what's called Chuckle Week, where they normally record remotely.
Are they together?
They're together in LA, and they have a bunch of guests on. So they're going out on Chuckle Week, and so they're talking about it like they have their best Chuckle Week ever. So I'm excited for that to be the last, or for the way that they go out to be hopefully the best one yet. But anyway. I want to talk about Dragon Ball Daima.
Okay.
How many episodes have you watched?
I'm current.
Oh, really?
Yes. I told you that.
I didn't I thought you stopped at like episode 2.
I literally texted you and said I'm caught up.
Well, I was a little drunk when you told me that. So
yes, I've watched them all. I'm not going to watch them.
Okay. So your assessment of it is that it's boring.
Very. Very. And I've read different things, and I get what's going on.
Yeah.
Yes, people are like, if you think this is boring, you never watched the original Dragon Ball because they were just here for an adventure. I've watched the original Dragon
I get
Ball.
it. I totally get it. I'm not even saying you're wrong.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I'm just saying, I think that's the biggest gripe because people are like, if you don't like this, you never were original Dragon. Like,
no, I don't think. I think that's a terrible.
You've read that.
No, I have read every issue, every chapter.
No, I'm talking
of
about the
Dragon-
reviews. of
No,
people
I
like
have.
that. Yeah.
But I'm also saying, like, I have watched every episode. I have read every chapter of Dragon Ball.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm not unversed in it. Like,
I've watched everything, even the remakes and stuff. I have not read every manga. I'm going to say, when it comes to who's consumed the most content, you beat me on that.
Sure.
Because you are the manga man.
Yeah. For me, like, I prefer to read the manga.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how I am.
So how do you feel about this not having a manga?
I kind of hate it.
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, the way that it's paced is like I'm reading the manga. Which, if you are not primarily a manga reader, it will be lost on you, and it will feel like it's more of a drag because stories are not being compressed right into episodes.
Right.
Now
I read manga. I've read all of Bleach.
Right. I'm not saying no, and I'm not saying that you don't either.
I have the opposite feeling of you. I feel like I've watched 7. How many episodes are we into now?
The 6th episode came out today. So as of recording, like we haven't even gotten to watch the 6th one. Yeah.
I feel like I ain't seen nothing yet. We are 5 episodes in, and normally it's the opposite. Normally, you read 5 chapters of a manga, and you've got a little bit, but I don't know, man. My problem with this is they gave us too much already. They gave us Super, and they took the manga to the next thing. We know what's to come, and they're like, we're not going to do anymore.
But you just think like
I just think that
like we got everything with Super and we're getting nothing now?
No, we didn't get all of Super. We know, you've read the manga. You know how all the stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wanted that.
No, I want that too. Don't get me wrong.
But this, I felt like this is just this could have been I don't even know. I can't even talk about it because like, I don't know how the story is going to end. I don't know what's going to happen. It could go crazy.
I mean, it's happening in between the end of Z. Not the end of Z. It's happening in between the end of the Boo arc.
Yes.
And
I get
the beginning of
But this
Super.
to me could have been just a special movie.
And I don't.
And this is what I told you. I was like, this to me, the biggest thing about this is I just don't feel like waiting week to week for this. To me, this could have been a big 2-hour movie and called it a day.
Yeah.
There's not enough excitement of this. I don't know, man. I'm an old boomer Dragon Ball Z fan.
No, I get it. It's geared more towards this like. So this year, 2024, is the 40th anniversary of Dragon Ball being released. It was originally released in manga in 1984. So when this show was pitched initially, right, by Funimation, Shueisha or Funimation, whomever, it was like, well, let's take Goku back to being a kid as part of the celebration, right?
Yeah.
And it was pitched to Toriyama, and he was so elated by the idea that he wanted to be a part of it, right? So he took the reins on it and he put his little spin on it and everything. And I'm not even like a wholesale defender of everything that Toriyama does or did rather, RIP. Because I think largely Dragon Ball Super is not great. Like, I think it has some really significant flaws to it that are, it's not good.
I mean, the Goku Black saga is fucking amazing.
No, it was, but like the way that it wrapped up was pretty bad, and it was so inconsistent with its pacing too that its goods outweigh its bads, but the bads of it kind of make you feel like he was being rushed by editors to end it.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I'm not saying that Daima is absolving him or the creators in general of Dragon Ball of their sins. But I don't know. I'm not ready to give it like a pass or fail right now because it is so early. And again,
how
like,
many episodes is it supposed to be?
It's supposed to be 20 episodes at least.
So we're a quarter of the way through.
Yeah.
Ain't much happened. Goku marrying a little got off. We're pretty much looking at Dragon Ball stuff. Goku got offered to marry the child of the king.
I know.
I don't know. I feel like I'm still stuck on like Dragon Ball Z as like fighting style anime and stuff like that, and I was looking forward to this next portion of Super because
and I agree, and like the next portion of Super is amazing. Yeah. Like once they get past the Tournament of Power, it gets
it almost feels like it's back to
good.
Like Majin Buu.
Sure,
style.
Yeah. No. Like it gets to this like. I am ready for that anime to come back, and the understanding is that it will, just not right now.
Right.
Like they will get to it eventually. I think people are still grieving over the death of Toriyama.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out where the rights actually sit. Mm-hmm. Who's going to take harness for the actual production of the anime, and I think once they do, we will see the Moro arc. We're going to see Granola, all this, that, and the other. So I'm not giving up on that yet, but I am enjoying what we have right now for what it is.
Okay.
And there's a couple reasons for that. One, it is literally the last thing that Toriyama ever did before he died. And I know that is just being very like passive about it without being critical of it. And I'm like, it's not perfect.
It's
I'm
legacy. He's a legend.
Exactly. Like I'm not saying it's perfect. Like I have my issues with it too. Like, yeah, there are some pacing problems with it, but I'm still like smiling when the episodes kick off. And
the only thing that I've really smiled about, the fact that they use a pin number.
That's so lame. That's the saddest thing in the world.
That's the pin number to get between realms and universe.
That sucks. That's so sad.
Oh, anyway. You gotta watch it.
Yeah. Anyway, and the other thing too is that like this is the closest we have ever seen to a perfect replication of what Toriyama drew on paper to actual screen.
Yeah.
It's almost a 1-to-1. And like I went to go see the English premiere of the all that we've seen on TV so far has been the Japanese original production with subtitles. And then in theaters, we had the premiere of the English dub, and I texted you and I said the English dub is a much better paced, funnier, almost kind of more enjoyable watch, just because I think that the jokes land a little bit better. I think that it's just a I don't know. You're not reading subtitles.
No, yeah.
You know? Yeah. But regardless, though, this is the the 1-to-1, and yeah, I'll get over the fact that there's not a manga.
You're dying inside.
I like. I mean, maybe Toyotaro will actually produce it eventually, but it will feel kind of cheap. Whatever. I don't know.
Just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah. I'm going to watch it, and that's the thing.
That's what
it whether you're.
I'm just sad that you're hate watching it.
I kind of am, but if you wanna really hate watch something, go to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. You can support the show, and then you can get access to the Discord where you can hate message us. And it's okay.
I went on for a lot longer about that than I meant to. I'm very sorry.
No, but you can go to the Discord and hate message us if you want. But you can support the show there on patreon.com. You get all the bonus stuff when you go to the $5 tier and above. We do Pours from the Floor. We do Sample Irresistible. We do Pop Chica Wow Wow. We do this episode uncut a day early. It's just the best place to support the show. And now, like Perry said before, if you want to check it out, you can go just kind of it's like a follow on there. And then maybe you just want to check out one bonus episode to see if you like it.
I don't think you even have to be a follower.
Yeah.
I think you can just.
Now you get access to do that. And if you like it, then you can subscribe. Yeah. So do that. Patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. If you want to get some apparel and merch, bourbonshop.threadless.com. Perry said we got some Christmas stuff up there. Get ready for the holidays. If you want to send an email, if you like to do emails, I don't know why. We do emails at work and all that, whatever. But if you like to send an email, this is mybourbonshop@gmail.com.
There we go.
Send an email to that. If you want to follow us on all social media, you can follow me at Whiskey Mutant. You can follow Perry at PRitter1792. And you can follow the show as a whole at My Bourbon Pod. If you want to be a part of the Barrel Ring segment, send a text message, send a voicemail, anything like that. 859-428-8253. You're part of the show. You're on there. We also need some likes. We need some comments. We need some subscribers. We need some reviews. Do all the stuff, whether you're listening on a podcast platform, whether you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. We'll read stuff out. It all helps. Then tell your mama about us.
Please.
Tell the MILFs.
Let them know.
Let them know.
That does it for this week. Next week, I feel like we got to do a best way to drink. Because we haven't done that in
naked.
So it's just us naked.
What if we changed the whole word of neat to naked? And so when people went to the bar, they're like,
give me a wild turkey naked.
Give me a wild turkey naked. And they're like, what? So do that.
I don't even know what we should do. 4 Roses?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll finger it.
We love y'all. See you next time. Until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
And this is My Bourbon Podcast. Bye. Doodles.